Okay, welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today we're plunging into, well, a specific approach to marketing. It's called the FAPI Marketing Framework.
Right, and we're working from a text source that really lays out its structure.
Exactly. And our mission today, what we really want to unpack, is one specific thing. How this framework is actually set up to, actively promote collaboration between different teams.
Which is huge in marketing, isn't it? Everyone wants to break down those silos, marketing, sales, product, you name it. But having a real structure, something that actually makes collaboration happen, that's the tricky part.
Yeah.
And this FAPI framework, well, the source suggests it hits that challenge head on.
That's what caught my eye, too. It doesn't just, hope for collaboration.
No.
It seems to build it right into its DNA, explicitly promoting cross-functional teamwork. But, okay, how exactly?
Well, what's really interesting here, according to the source, is how it makes sure all the relevant stakeholders.
Stakeholders, okay.
Yeah, and crucially, that includes people from outside the usual marketing department, ensures they're actively involved.
Involved in the actual marketing process itself.
Right there in it, not just informed after the fact.
So how does that happen? Is it just meetings?
The source points to these specific structured things called project events.
Project events? Okay.
Think of them as mandatory touch points, maybe dedicated working sessions. You're not just an optional attendee.
Right, so it's not like getting buried in a CC list.
Yeah.
We're actually in these defined moments designed for participation.
Yeah.
It's built in.
Exactly. And that process, bringing different perspectives into these structured events, naturally helps build a shared sense of ownership.
Ownership, that's key.
Yeah. Everyone feels like they have a hand in shaping it. And that usually leads to more accountability for whether it succeeds or not.
It stops being marketing's thing that they just throw over the wall.
Precisely. It avoids that feeling of marketing doing stuff to other departments.
Okay, that shared ownership, that sounds powerful. So if everyone's involved through these events, who's steering the ship? Who coordinates this collaboration according to the source?
Good question. The framework defines specific roles for this. The source talks about the plan master.
Plan master. Sounds important.
Yeah, they play this central coordinating role. They're the ones building the team for a project, making sure communication actually works between everyone.
So they're kind of the glue, keeping things moving towards the goals.
That's a good way to put it. They coordinate the activities, but they're not alone. They work closely with functional leads.
Functional leads, so people representing different departments, like sales or product.
Exactly. The source says these leads are vital. They bring in their specific functional expertise, their resources, right into the marketing plan development.
And how do they interact with the plan master? Is it just giving input?
No, it's more direct than that. The source emphasizes they collaborate directly with the plan master.
Directly on what?
On developing specific parts, specific modules of the marketing strategy that need their function's know-how. It's presented as a real working partnership.
So it's co-creation, almost.
Yeah, designed to ensure that alignment right from the start.
Okay, so instead of marketing building a plan alone and then maybe showing it around.
Or handing it off, yeah.
FAPI uses these roles and events to bake the cross-department communication and understanding into the process itself.
And the big benefit, connecting it all up, is minimizing that potential for misalignment.
Right, because everyone's involved during development.
Exactly. When sales, product, marketing, whoever else is needed, are actually developing the strategy together through these mechanisms.
You cut down the risk that marketing's efforts are, disconnected from the bigger business goals.
Precisely. It helps ensure everything is pulling in the same direction, contributing cohesively.
Okay, so the source really makes a case that this deliberate structure for collaboration in FAPI isn't just a nice to have.
No, it's fundamental. It links directly to accountability and ultimately to a better chance of success. It seems designed to engineer collaboration.
Rather than just hoping it happens organically.
Right. So just to recap the key points from our source, FAPI boosts collaboration through 1. Explicit cross-functional teamwork.
Using those mandatory project events.
2. Having specific roles like the plan master coordinating and functional leads collaborating directly.
Bringing in their specific expertise.
And 3, all of this driving communication and alignment across departments.
Okay, that leads nicely into a final thought for you listening in. The source really emphasizes these defined roles and required events as the structure for collaboration.
The mechanics of it, yeah.
But here's the question. If that structure is so central, how much does the existing culture of a company really affect whether FAPI leads to genuine, effective teamwork. Or do those project events just become, procedural meetings people feel they have to go to without real engagement? What stands out to you about that interplay between structure and culture? Something to chew on.